Okay, round two. This is a mulligan. Ghost Fireblade doesn't do enough on its own and just a Wild Slash with 5 lands. We need to have some more action. Otherwise, I think we're at too much risk. This, on the other hand, very good. Third land we're going to keep. Not the ideal third land, admittedly. But we're going to accept it. Still think there's a good chance we want to do Hangerback. Yeah, there is. Because then we can, even if we don't draw an untapped land, we get to go Cliffs, number 2, Ghost Fireblade, pump Hangerback, which seems fine to me. So, some sort of control deck, maybe? Or is that what I am to assume? Whirler-Rogue. Very good draw there, too. Even though we can't play it yet, I am satisfied with that draw. To be honest, even if we draw an untapped land, I think I'm much more inclined to just go Cliffs, Ghost Fireblade, pump Hangerback. Seems better to me. I'm trying to think what we're playing against right now. I'm trying to figure it out. Is it a rally deck? Is that a Den Protector? Or a Rattleclaw Mystic? That is the question. Yeah, we play the Cliffs. We go Blade. And pass. I'd rather pump the Hangerback, I think, than equip it and get in some damage. I think we're going to be able to... I mean, it's not a bad play, actually, but I like getting value out of Hangerback, especially against a deck that could be running Planar Outburst, although it's seeming less likely. Could be Gideon, maybe? All right. Gideon actually is not the worst card against us. Gideon is something that we can beat, especially with the help of Mr. Whirler-Rogue. So we'll pump Hangerback. Kind of want to keep Whirler-Rogue a surprise. I think the play here is actually Sky Spawner, equip Hangerback, and swing at Gideon. That way we'll get an ally off the board. I mean, we could pump the Pia and the Hangerback to set up for Pia and Kieran, but I don't want him getting more guys. I think we'll swing at Gids, make him get rid of his guy. Next turn we get to kill Gideon if he spits out another ally too. Oh, getting aggressive on us, are we? Okay. We're going to take 5 here. I mean, we're at 22. I don't see why I need to lose anything. Still not exactly sure what my opponent's doing either. Hangerback of your own. You got it. Okay. So Gideon's going to go down, down, downtown. So we go Foundry, we go Whirler-Rogue. It's actually interesting. So you tap your Ghost Fireblade and you tap a Thopter. Kill Gideon. Play a Ghost Fireblade and pass. So even if he board wipes here, we're looking like we just rebuild like crazy here. Negate. You got it. So Planar Outburst, no big deal. Because we net 2 creatures, we have a Ghost Fireblade, and we follow up with P and Kirinalar. And we have Foundry of the Councils, so we've got a lot of resilience going on here. And if he's got the Planar Outburst, he most assuredly wants to cast it. He's going to recast Gideon? Alright, that's not that big of a deal. Warden of the First Tree. Well, now I think my opponent doesn't have a board wipe, because why would my opponent cast Warden otherwise? Alright, I cannot block a Den Protector. My opponent can pump Warden of the First Tree. Good to know. Hangerback number 2 is not bad either. So let's play Hangerback number 2, I think. A little more willing to lose Scion now, actually. Just seems like I'd rather spit out tokens, you know? Okay, so let's make Hangerback unblockable. We want to keep this one back for blocking. Get in for 7. So our opponent can get the lifelink off with the Warden, but I don't think that's good enough. Because my Hangerback, like, he can give that trample or whatever, but I don't actually think that's good enough. It's going to be a while before he can... It's going to be at least another turn before he can trample it and give it all the... Trample lifelink it and give it all the counters he needs. And we currently absolutely have lethal on backswing. Still a bit confused about what my opponent's doing. It looks like a lot of tools from Abzan, but there's no black. So what's the blue? We see counter spells, which I imagine we're better geared against. Oopsie. Yeah, we'll bite. We're going to block. It doesn't matter too much if he has Planar Outburst. And if he puts the counters on, that's not going to be good enough either, I don't think. Okay, he just wants the... Could have Dramoka's command or something? No? Alright. Another Warden. Okay. Do we have lethal yet? I want to assume we do. Yeah, that's got to be lethal. We go PN Kirinalar. Make Hangerback unblockable. Oops. Okay. Got game 1. So playing against a bunch of components from Abzan with counter spells. which I'm not exactly sure what that means. We're going to keep the roasts in, though, because Warden of the First Tree is a big deal when it comes to spot removal. I'm not actually sure we bring in more spot removal either. A problem with bringing in more spot removal is that Warden of the First Tree and Hangerback Walkers are just not insanely good targets for our one-drop removal. Den Protector's okay, but he gets value still, right? Not necessarily, I guess. He needs to have 5 mana, which means he has to morph it and be able to unmorph it in 1 turn to get value. So I guess if he plays a morph on turn 3, a 1 mana removal spell for it is pretty good. But, I mean, I felt pretty good that whole match. Ghost Fireblade actually was pretty nice for us there. Let us push through some damage. Curious. Do I want another Impulse at the cost of, like, a Ghost Fireblade? Probably not. I think 8 pieces of removal is probably enough. Let's just do this again. I mean, that worked great for us. Absolutely a keep here. Nice looking hand. All right. We do have Roast somewhere in this deck. All right. I mean, still a ways away from Warden getting super dangerous. All right. Hangerback number 2 is not terrible. We get to go Hangerback, pump Hangerback. Which seems okay to me. All right, a bunch of Wardens. Missing a land drop there, so if we can capitalize, I would like to. I think it's actually in our best interest to just double block the Warden, pump our hanger back. All right, if he attacks with both, we just double block the 1 power one. Yeah, this is actually fine. So pump here. He gets to kill both our guys. We kill his Warden. We get 3 guys. Seems fine to me. Aggregate's actually a really nice draw. Let's go Aggregate. Blade, and start getting on the offensive here. Okay, so he's going to hit our Aggregate. Still in very good shape, in my opinion. So we play Rogue, bash for 5. Wow. And then we just re-equip our Ghost Fireblade to an untapped Thopter token. Easy block. Nissa's not going to be good enough, so do we have lethal? I believe the answer is yes. Our opponent is at 8 life. We have a Ghostfire Blade. We can just play another Whirler Rogue. Wow. Alright, so let's just go like this. Xaxes lethal. All right, opponent had some mana issues there, but not going to downplay any match wins we get, so that was pretty awesome. All right, we will see you in the third and final match of this little video series.